Good night, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall is at half-mast tonight. Woke up this morning to terrible news. I was wondering, I was getting prices about 8 o'clock, before 8 o'clock, for Punchestown, and I seen there was none on Betfair, and I was wondering, I was saying, sure, there must have been an awful storm that blew in. But I seen it straight away that Mikey O'Sullivan had passed away. Rumours had been abounding all morning, yesterday morning, to say that his time had been up. And there was a press release from the IHRB, or the IRHB, to say that things were okay. But I'd say what happened was, in the case of brain injuries, the machine is turned off 24 hours. You know the fact. You have it happened to my mother, and we had to wait 24 hours. Then we knew the inevitable 24 hours prior to it, so we had to turn off the machine 24 hours later. I said that's what happened in that instance this morning. So people from all day yesterday down in the local area would have known that that wasn't going to be a recovery. It's outrageous, sad altogether for a fine young man with so much in front of him, doing the right things. And I wasn't going to do a video. I was shocked for the first few hours this morning. But I said then I'd do one in tribute to him, because the O'Sullivan family, I'm sure, would want people to remember him in a special way, as opposed to folding up tent. I remember when Marine Nationale won the winners' bumper in Killarney in 2022. It's the last day of the last race of the day, and I was in a camper van, and I was going to head into town just to beat the traffic. But someone had told me that this horse was special, so I went out through the exit, and I went into in the centre of the parade, or the parking area, and I watched him from the other side. He was absolutely huge. You can see the size of him there in victory after winning the Supreme in 2023, and he knew it. Look at that for a salute. The two of them saluting together. Absolutely fantastic. And I was in Ferryhouse Inn when he ran in the Royal Bond early December, and made a howler of a mistake at the last, and Irish Point went ahead of him. And Mikey O'Sullivan didn't get too ruffled, and he got him up on the line. Then he went on to Cheltenham, the first race of the meeting. I think he was returned at 9-2, beat Facile Vega, who was the favourite. Didn't run again then until won a beginner's chase in December 23. And that was the last time it visited the winner's circle. Just little niggles, I suppose, happened or whatever, and he came closest probably not too long ago at the Dublin Racing Festival under a different jockey, but that was the closest. But Mikey O'Sullivan, his dad, William, rode Lovely Citizen, and that was owned and bred, bred first and owned by his granddad. It was trained by Eugene O'Sullivan, his uncle. His first cousin then, Eugene's daughter, Maxine, rode It Comes to Pass in the Puncher's Chase again in 2020. Overall, he rode 90 winners in Ireland and 5 in the UK. He actually had a double that day in Cheltenham. He won on Jazzy Matty. So he had the honour of wearing the leading rider's band into day 2. So it's an awful loss to the family. It's an awful loss to the people that knew him. and it's hard to explain. There was something I was thinking about the last few days about the ground in Thurles. It's they don't have any watering system there, and they had to call off several meetings in the spring because the ground was too firm. And a lot of horses was pulled out at different times for fear of injury. And if that ground had been soft or good to soft, when jockeys fall, it wouldn't likely be falling on hard ground. Would it have made a difference? I hope they'll look into it to make it much safer ground at this time of the year again, because the good horses don't be running during the summer. They're when of course they do the flat then. But just shows you the risk they take, like the whole time. When he left his house that morning, he never returned that night. The risk they take, every one of them, especially the national hunt, it's a lesser risk for the flat jockeys, because they don't have a fear of tipping up. Rest in peace, young man. He was born, as I said, he was a few days short of his 25th birthday, born in the year 2000. He was a millennium child. I'll leave the picture up there. I'll just say horses was secondary to me today, but we had 1 out of 2 out in picks last night in the US, and we, with the 2 non-runners today, we left us with 1. We drifted out to 14-1, and I cannot understand how it didn't win Ganapate. I thought it was worth the stab, because with the class drop, it went 1-10 on in running, and it didn't hold on for us. Another second. That's 3 or 4 in the last week that we probably should have won, and we didn't. One of the horses actually that I'd picked today, Portnacoo, is running tomorrow in Carlisle. Ross O'Sullivan sends over 2. I think we'll back the 2 of them. It's not left easy by the fact that the English handicapper puts both of them up £6. Bishbashbosh, who we were on the last time in the Down Royal, hands and heels job 'twas by Tom Herney, but it's a conditional race tomorrow, and the fact that he has rode it before should be plus. There is one close in the market, Kingston Rock, for Gary Rutherford, who has won a few races recently. I think he has 3 running, one in the last week or 10 days. And then in the last race we have Portnacoo, and it's both, you have the same owner, Harry Smith, and the same trainer, Ross O'Sullivan, but you have a different jockey. You have Darragh O'Keefe. I presume Darragh will travel. That's put up £6, and that looks like it has only 1 to beat as well, Brock Shane. But let's back the 2 of them, and we'll do a double and hope that we might get Monday off to a good week. So rest in peace, Michael O'Sullivan. Bash the bookies, over and out.